Right, so let's speak now to DA Tshwane Mayoral candidate Randal Williams. He joins us from our Pretoria studios. A very good evening to you. Thank you so much for joining us. So what do you believe is the reason that the Tshwane Council meeting collapsed again?
Good evening, Tsepiso. Actually, it's not correct what was said on the broadcast earlier. Again, the ANC and EFF, left the council meeting early and caused the council meeting to collapse. Now, there's a claim that the speaker was to preside over the election of the new mayor. That is absolutely not correct. If there's more than one candidate, then the IEC has to preside over the election. And the IEC was in fact present to preside over the election. So that was definitely not the reason why the EFF and ANC left the meeting. Now, what they claimed in the meeting was that because the DA and the speaker filed a case against the MEC of Kokta, MEC Maile, that's because of that filing of a court case, the matter is sub judice and therefore she may not preside. And that's absolutely wrong in law. She was not suspended, so she had every right to preside over the council meeting.
Okay, allow me to ask this question, Mr. Williams, allow me to ask this question. Now, the question is about whether or not it would be wise for the speaker not to, or to recuse herself if MEC Maile is following through with the process to investigate Katlego Mathebe over her conduct relating to the collapse of previous council meetings.
There was absolutely no finding that her conduct violated any rule, any bylaw, any law. Absolutely nothing. So what she has been challenging in court is MEC Mahile's right to appoint an investigator. He does not have the right to do that. So there's been absolutely no finding against her. And she had every right to sit there and preside over the meeting. But the real reason why the ANC and EFF collapsed the meeting, because that was merely a ruse. The two parties have been negotiating for the past 3 weeks to take over the city. And they still need some more time to conclude their negotiations. And that's the reason why they collapsed the council meeting, to the detriment of the residents of the city of Tshwane.
So what you're saying is that you agree with John Moody saying that this was intentionally done to bring the provincial government a step closer to placing the city under administration?
No, it was intentionally done to give the ANC and the EFF more time to find themselves so that they can form a coalition government to take over the city of Tshwane. They have been in negotiations for the past 3 weeks already, but they need more time to conclude their negotiations.
So you're rejecting the ANC's assertion, which is what they're saying, that it's the DA itself that has collapsed the council meeting and that you are failing, you're derelicting your duty in providing services to the people of Tshwane.
We have absolutely been providing services. We are not the ones collapsing council meetings. When the ANC and the EFF walk out, it means the meeting is no longer co-rated. And there's no way that we're able to continue with the meeting.
Okay.
What's more, you mentioned earlier on the broadcast that there's no mayor after Mayor Mokgalapa resigned. But the situation is even worse. The EFF and ANC are both aware that the term of the acting city manager ends tomorrow. So after tomorrow, there will be no executive in power. There will be no city manager in the administration. So what would happen if at a company on the same day both the board and the CEO resigns, and there are no replacements in place. What do you think will happen to that company?
All right. Now, let me ask you a final question, Mr. Williams. While the DA and ANC are trading barbs over this, who is responsible for collapsing the council meetings and just the effective running of the city. I believe you've served the ANC's Tshwane Mayoral with legal papers asking him to desist, referring to you as an MMP and leader of the government business in charge that approved the Oricon and Glad Africa monies. Now, what is your response to that, the allegation that you presided over that?
Look, Tshwane Mayoral worked as an official in the Mayor Sputla's office. So he perfectly knows what the role of the leader of executive business is. The role is purely political. You are not involved in tenders. It's completely laughable. And that's why we told him, he claimed that he's got evidence. We asked him, Councillor Mayoral, please go to a police station, lay charges, produce the evidence. But he's not doing it.
And you think he's doing it because he doesn't have proof?
He doesn't have it. He knows he's lying.
All right. Thank you very much for speaking to us, DA Tshwane Mayoral candidate Randal Williams. 2 Home Affairs officials have been jailed for fraud. An immigration officer in Boksburg, Gauteng, and an administration clerk in KwaMhlanga, Mpumalanga were each given 5 years. SABC News